just say this right off the bat. I actually was born in South Carolina. And they ask me occasionally, well, Dr. Jackson, do you need a PowerPoint? I said, no, I don't need a PowerPoint because I am the PowerPoint. And so I want to challenge you. And when this pandemic hit, coming out of corporate America, training people from around the world, I had to make a choice to pivot. I didn't know a lot about social media. And so I created a bonus that just because you don't know, just because you use tech, doesn't mean that you have to lose the human touch. And so I learned, but in 2020, my word was collaboration, because what I have learned that if you're the smartest person in your group, you need to get a different group. So I used the word collaboration, and I met about 300 different authors and coaches and speakers that I didn't know. And we got together virtually on the computer and we started collaborating together. We wrote 5 best-selling books on Amazon. I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about branding yourself. And we did the book cast virtually. Most of them I've never met. But what I've learned that when you do collaboration, and someone mentioned, I think Renee mentioned it earlier, that the new way of communication is through the video, is to be able to make a personal, because people do business with the people that they know, the people that they like, and automatic, I say all the time, I've never met a group of people that didn't bring me joy. I will admit that some people bring me joy when they enter the room, others bring me joy when they leave the room, but nevertheless, they bring me joy. The other thing that I've learned is that you build a fire. See, if you build a fire, I say I'm fired up. If you build a fire when you're speaking, then some people gonna come to warm by your fire, and others gonna come just to watch you burn. And I'm fired up today. Every once in a while, I tell people that sometimes when I'm speaking, the fire department come with their and they come with their water hose and they come with their fire extinguisher. I said, hold it, it's not that kind of fire. You didn't light this fire and you can't out this fire. See, you are the message. You have to be authentic. You have to be the real thing. And so I got out and connect with people on LinkedIn, started off on scratch, but I interviewed everyone before I brought them into the group, because everybody is not my team. But the other thing I emphasize a lot is that I come from a place of abundance. See, some people come from the place of a scarcity. There's nearly 8 billion people on the planet, and there'll never be another one just like you. No one else can duplicate your fingerprint and your handwriting. You are biologically unique. We need to hear your voice. We need to hear your story. Bonus from Jonas. When your value is clear, your decision is easy. Oh, I think I said something. I think that's a bonus from Jonas. I say when your value is clear, your decision is easy. If you know who you are and whose you are, listen, live full and die empty. Don't be a cheap copy of someone else. There's nothing like the real person. So that's important. So you are the brand. The other thing I've learned in networking with people and getting people to get you to know. Now, I used to be a lifelong learner. And a lifelong learner has a lot of attributes. But in 2000 and beyond, the 21st century, you got to become a laser learner. Because if you're a laser learner and you get a laser in your hand and you put it focus on steel, it will burn through. So if you're a laser learner, you're not going to go into anything unless you know exactly what you're going in there for. And if you know exactly what you're going in there for, you're not going to come out with something else. And so being a laser learner, you are focused. Bonus from Jonas, because whatever you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. And so that's very, very important. You are the magic. You are the product. People will buy you. They will buy your story. They will, when you energize them, as Lisa did a wonderful job introduce me. My foundational principle on all of my speeches is number one is education. It comes from the Latin word to lead and to draw out the greatness and the genius that are laying dormant in most people. And then from education is inspiration, because people need hope. People need to be able to get encouraged, because we all have hurts, habits, and hang up. I stopped by to give you H number 4, healing. It's the healing time. And so when you get that education, and then you get that inspiration. And then the third one is transformation, the metamorphosis. I don't care how many legs a caterpillar has. I don't care how fast he can run. He can never fly until he's transformed into a butterfly. This is our time to mount up with wings like an eagle. I wrote a book, How to Fly Like an Eagle with Wings Like a Wind, because the eagle is the only bird that doesn't fly south during the winter month. He used the storm as an updraft, the wind beneath his wings. And I'm talking to some eagles. This is your time, and this is your turn. And so once you get that transformation, move a bonus from Jonas, move away from change to transformation, because change is temporary, but transformation is permanent. And then the last principle in all of my message is motivation. Someone said, give me some motivation. You don't need motivation if you're going in the wrong direction. You need education. Turn around. But that motivates, get you up and get you going. So that's my branding, with a word of encouragement. And never look down on another human being unless you're looking down to lift them up. There's an African proverb said, if there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. And so I want to challenge you that this is your time. And because I'm a communicational expert, let me give you 3 C's right quick. Number 1, if you want to touch people's life in a positive way, you need to learn how to communicate. But before you learn how to communicate, you got to get clarity. C number 1, get clarity. You know, here you heard people that jack of many trade, a master of none. That is not the right quote. The quote is jack of many trade, but master of one. Choose one thing. A book that I read said, this one thing I do. Forgetting those things that are behind, I reach toward those things that before. Press. If you want to be blessed, you got to continue to press, but you got to get clarity. And then the other C is you got to be concise. You got to be concise. You listen. Always make your words short and sweet, because you never know which one you're going to have to eat. Oh, that's a bonus from Jonas. I say make your words short and sweet, because you never know which one you're going to have to eat. And so be concise. Now, there's a difference between concise and incomplete. Conciseness gives you just enough on what you need. And then the third one I want to leave is to be able to give your message with confidence. Know who you are and whose you are. Don't be a cheap copy of someone else when you are an original. Again, I'm so fired up. And listen, understand as I close, understand that sometimes in life, a setback is really a step back to prepare yourself to make a greater comeback. And when life knocks you down, always strive to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. This has been Dr. Jonas with the bonus, DTM, known as Mr. Enthusiastic, that said if you cheat yourself in your presentation, it will show up on your presentation. And remember, since greatness is possible, excellent is not enough. Go for greatness. Go for greatness. Go for greatness.